Welcome to another episode of our weekly sharing whatever wisdom comes to mind or something that we've
Yes.
processed. And this week I was thinking about older singles that may have felt like they missed the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And I myself was 40 when I got married, and both of
Mm-hmm.
us in our 40s we got married for the first time. So we get what it's like to be climbing up the ladder and wondering, is it ever going to happen? Is it even worth it? The first 40 years been good. What's another 40 years? Maybe I'll
Mm-hmm.
just die single. And when we get into these life situations, which we feel helpless and don't have control over, it's easy to embrace the victim mindset of
Mm-hmm.
just resigning to that, just accepting it and creating reasons for why we are where we are.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a whole identity wrapped around our singlehood to where we'll
Yeah.
defend it fiercely, to where if somebody tries to speak wisdom into that situation, it can be very triggering because it feels like an identity attack because I'm
Yeah.
single because XYZ,
I have good excuses
I
for
have
that.
all of our excuses smell like roses to us, but they stink like poop to other people. That's what I
Yeah.
had to discover. So if
Mm-hmm.
you feel like you missed the boat for whatever reason, just know that it's no different than to God, that is, it's no different than a painter. If you ever watch these videos of a painter on the street where somebody gives them an object like a suitcase or whatever, and hey, here's $100 bill, paint something on my suitcase. I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy watching these. And the guy, puts on this big show and a flair and spinning his paint cans and then and then he
Mm-hmm.
scrapes it this way and swishes that way and stamps this and pokes that, and it just looks like one disastrous mess of paint all over the place. It doesn't look like anything. From my perspective, it looked like he's doing it out of order and purpose to confuse you. And then all of the end, it pops out with this amazing picture. I'm like, how do they do that in mere minutes?
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine they probably make some mistakes here and there. I don't know. But the looks of it, even if they did make a mistake, they can blend that mistake right into the beauty of the picture. And so the moral of the story is, well, that's how God does with anything, specifically the topic being singlehood, we'll use it for
Mm-hmm.
that, is how that no matter how old you are, you're never too old.
Yes.
My Aunt Mary uh, got married for the first time at the age of 79.
Mm-hmm.
So she married a widower, and they were very happily married for a couple of years before he passed away. And she's now uh, very aged and needs 24/7 care, but still, she
Mm-hmm.
had a few years of beautiful marriage.
So I love what Jesse was talking about, the artist. And when the artist is in action, even if they're making mistakes, you will not be able to tell because they master the tool. And that's also how it is with the singles. You can continue walking your life not knowing why you're still single, maybe being discouraged and frustrated and thinking like, but I'm actually a good catch if somebody would really get to know me. And so with the community that we have, the reason why we open this community for singles is to give you tools that's going to make you a master in connection,
And not just tools, but the space to
to
practice and
practice
exercise
it.
those tools,
Yeah.
and make friends in the process.
Yeah. And so, some people say like, I don't need that. I I can do it myself. And that's awesome. If you really can, that's amazing. Well, some of us actually need help because we were not taught how to choose the person, how to be the person that will be chosen. and how to create a great connection, how to recognize your person, how to communicate in such a way where another person feels safe with you so you can discover each other. And also, the tool of communication in the relationship and the friendship, and how to go from friends to now dating in the relationship to engaging and then married. And then how to flow with all of those stages of relationship and how to make it great, how to make it epic and magnificent. So to make that magnificent change in your life and create what you desiring deep down, it needs a skill. And you need to have tools to learn the skill, right? And so it is always available for those who want to learn it, for those who really going to take time to go after that. And with Jesse and I, we shared our story so much with you that we were great communicators and social and all that.
Lots of friends.
Lots of
We were
friends.
leaders in our own realm.
Yeah. And that actually kept us from going after the tools that would get us
Yeah.
married.
I stayed single for much longer than I needed to because I had all the answers.
Yeah.
And once I recognized that I don't know what I don't know, and therefore I think I know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what's keeping me stuck. And
Yeah.
so I laid down everything I thought I knew, and
Mm-hmm.
I decided to adopt a new posture of being humble, coachable, teachable,
Yeah.
asking questions, and doing so from somebody who has the results
Yeah.
and has the fruit to demonstrate that they know what they're talking about. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, even if I already know it, I need to hear it from a fresh perspective. And here's where the rubber met the road. It was taking action on what I did know
Mm-hmm.
and also taking action on what I learned.
Mm-hmm.
And taking that action was also what helped me process through fears that were keeping me back to begin with, because
Yeah.
fear and insecurity and lack of confidence is what keeps us from taking action. However, the very thing you need to do to overcome that is to take action.
Yeah.
And so that's what we do in our single to married community is we break it down into the super simple micro steps.
Mm-hmm.
It could be as simple as just practicing giving compliments to strangers.
Yeah.
But that little action step gives you a boost of confidence. Okay. And next you ask a question. You practice just asking questions from people, getting to know them. And so on. We don't lay the whole groundwork out for you, but
Yeah.
you get the idea that when you break it down and you take intentional, purposeful action with a plan that you're going to progress in a certain direction, that
Mm-hmm.
will boost your confidence. It'll help you overcome your fears and your insecurities. You're not just staying stuck. All of a sudden, you're invigorated with this feeling like I'm actually going somewhere. There's some motion. I'm not just here waiting on God anymore. I'm actually making friends in the process and growing my confidence. And next thing you know,
Mm-hmm.
you make a best friend and you marry your best friend. And lots of people that we work with have actually pretty much skipped over the traditional dating
Mm-hmm.
process because they
Yeah.
ended up just connecting so well and they married their best friend.
Yeah.
So,
And then there's another um type of person, you might be that person that you say, I actually have an easy time meeting people and connecting and going on dates. And yet I have a hard time committing and choosing the right person because there's so many possibilities. There's so many people that there's so many choices. And, I'm tired of just dating, but I want to find one for commitment. And we get that too. We have clients like that as well. That's where you come in to actually conquer those fears and those beliefs that's holding you back from commitment. We see where things needs to shift, what trauma needs to be addressed, and how to root those things out of you and shift your story from a gigolo to a committed husband or, a wife. And it's not late for you. If you've been divorced already and you've been married before and you used to say, yeah, I don't know, who wants that baggage? I have children, I've been married, I'm no longer fresh. That's just your belief. There is a life after this, and you are the one that's in control of shifting it and really going towards what you desire. So just know that our community is open for everyone who's single and want to get married. And something is holding you back, and you just need that extra shift, extra something.
Yeah.
And, come and check it out. Come and see what people are doing. And listen, we have so many results. We have 3 weddings. We already had one 2 weeks ago, and then we have 2 more coming up, one after another. We have many relationships sprouting just from this community, and that's not counting
One of the
all of
relation
the things that we've seen before this community
one of the
was started.
relationships was actually from a young lady that didn't want anything to do with marriage. She just wanted to increase her friendship building skills.
Yeah. So it is possible to get to your heart's desires. And if you just open up to come and check it out, we don't know it all, but we give you everything that we can so that you can find all that you need and go deeper, you know? So that's what we love doing and bringing hope to those who feel discouraged and showing you that it is possible for you. You don't have to sit back and say, my life is pretty much over.
And believing that will influence the actions you take to confirm the belief.
Yeah.
So you get to create the reality you want
Hmm.
to exist in. So
Yeah.
go out and do something new that you haven't done before. Make a
Hmm.
decision
Yes.
that moves you in the direction of forward motion and
Hmm.
progress.
Hmm.
And watch what the Lord will do with that.
Hmm. That's right. We'll see you on the next one.